Did we get another Nateson video 2 days after our last? Yes, you did, and that's because I woke up super early today to make an extra video this week. Today, the video topic is Overwatch Microtransactions. Did you guys hear that? Nateson said the M word. Microtransactions. This is looked at as like the curse word of the gaming community. How dare you game developers put microtransactions in our game? And look guys, microtransactions most of the time end up just hurting a game, as we see with big titles like Battlefront 2.
Why? Why can't I just do arcade mode?
Whenever AAA developers make these huge games with huge names and they shove microtransactions in them in a way that is not natural or fitting, it is just so clearly that they were just shoved in because a board of suits and ties wanted to make some extra money. It ruins the game. But Overwatch is an exception, and I think it's really important to look at sometimes what is making microtransactions good in a game versus what's making them bad. So today's video is Overwatch Microtransactions. Overwatch has done them right. So now's a good time to tell you that this video is sponsored by GameLeap. And we're going to talk more about this at the end of the video, so make sure you stick around. But GameLeap is the best website for bettering yourself as a player. They have a completely brand new site built and it looks fantastic. There's so much content for you to go and look at right now for free. Wait till the end of the video and we'll talk more. So almost every AAA game you play, when it comes to the loot boxes and other microtransactions, you usually get one to start off with, so there's a little bit of a hook. Maybe you'll get one or two. There's a way to get you hooked.
This isn't the carnival, Patrick. Those are hooks.
So that you know the experience, you can feel the excitement of opening a loot box. But then usually the rest of the time, you're not gonna get any free loot boxes unless it's extremely rare cases, or if it's like Christmas Day is here and sometimes they'll throw you like a free loot box in these games. You're gonna have to pay for them with real money. And a lot of companies go further than just loot boxes. Instead, they tie in gameplay mechanics into microtransactions. This is what kills a game franchise.
Turns out, the side missions aren't side missions because you have to complete a ton of them in order to level your guy up. Of course, this is where time savers come into play. Ubisoft wants you to spend real money on in-game experience so that you don't have to actually play the game you just bought for $60.
In Overwatch, however, you're getting these loot boxes every single time you rank up. Think about that for a second. How generous that is. From all of these AAA games we've seen, and it doesn't even have to be AAA, all games with microtransactions, that is incredibly generous for what we've seen so far, and that is very pro-consumer. And the types of things we can get in a loot box, as you guys already know, I don't know why I have to refresh you, but in case you're new to Overwatch, skins, emotes, voice lines, sprays, and player icons. And these items I found are very popular with the casual player base, something I can't relate to as much as I don't seem to have some sort of pull, like when we have new events with new skins, new items, new whatevers. I don't get as excited as other people. That's because it's not for me. The competitive side is for me, and I found that most competitive players don't really care about this cosmetic stuff as much. But they're still cool for the game, and it drives a lot of hype and excitement for the casual players, which is always fun. So now let's talk about the future of microtransactions in Overwatch. Basically where my vision for it, not that it matters, but I guess that's why you're on the Nateson channels, to hear what I think. My vision for the game going forward. So you have seen the absolute crazy success of Fortnite and their model of free to play, but you can pay for skins, the battle pass, and these like dances. And that's such the big thing in Fortnite, was these dances as their form of like emotes. In Overwatch, we have emotes as well, and we do have dances. But here's a thing with Overwatch stuff. When you're emoting, you can't cancel it. You're stuck in the emote animation. So this means people are less likely to use them, because if you're in a fight just ended, but you never know if there's one or two people hiding around the corner ready to pop you, you can't start an emote unless you're just asking to be killed. But in Fortnite, and a game that has really popularized, and it's become like a social part of the culture in Fortnite, is to dance. Do an emote as like BM, as kind of like a funny moments thing. Whenever you get a kill, you do your little dun 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 dun. We're never doing that again. And I know that's an old one too. I think that the Overwatch team should let us cancel our emotes once we've started them. That would make players want to use them more, and it creates more of a culture of where we'd be equipping them and using them in game. You know, it's all just to be funny, and it's a for fun thing. There's nothing serious about what we're talking about here. But a serious thing for Blizzard to keep in mind, and something that you guys might be looking out for here soon, this is a serious way to make money. Get people to spend more stuff on loot boxes, and I think a push like this, adding a lot more items into Overwatch for people to buy loot boxes, Us getting a loot box every single level up will never go away. I believe that that will always be around. But I think Blizzard will get to a point where we have a patch or something where it's just so much more content has been pushed out. People are more excited about getting a dance that you can be able to cancel, so it lets you want to use it, and it makes you excited to use these emotes, which will make players want to actually spend money on buying more loot boxes so they can get all the dances now to do stuff in game with their friends. That's funny. And that's gonna be good for Blizzard because they're gonna be making some more money. Players are gonna be having more fun in the game. And it seems like a very easy fix, and I think at least for now, something I'd like to see is the fact that we could cancel an emote once we've started it. You can't cancel it right now, and you get stuck in it if you hit it. And honestly, it's kind of funny because I look at Overwatch as it has the best microtransaction system in all of the games out there today right now. I think it's a very innocent system. You get a loot box every single time you level up, and leveling up really doesn't take that much time. You can get a lot of loot box. It's the most generous system out there in my opinion. There are still people that look at this as a bad thing, that all loot boxes, all possible ways to pay for something in a game is like a predatory practice. A lot of people take the stance of you're preying on people that have like some sort of gambling habit or gambling addiction, and I kind of look at it as a lot of BS, because no matter what you do in life, maybe someone will always struggle with something. So when you cater to like the 1%, it hurts like the rest of the 99. So the people, it's so dumb, the people complaining about, and this is old stuff. Like this would have been 2 years ago when the game first came out. No one's talking about microtransactions anymore. It's kind of died. But when you go look it up on YouTube, you'll see videos from 2 years ago that were people complaining about this microtransaction stuff, even though the stuff is purely cosmetic. And some articles go to talk about microtransactions as that is a big problem with them. They're saying that they're only cosmetic, but it makes you feel that you have to get the stuff now. And so they have these events that are limited time to get these skins, so you have to buy, which is an okay argument. But the only problem is that you are getting a loot box every single time you rank up. So if you play during the event, I found that you get a lot of the skins that you're wanting. On top of, if you play the game normally, you're gonna have so much gold that you can buy whatever you want pretty much always. Or you're like me, I have about 200 loot boxes sitting at my main menu, and I already have basically everything in the game unlocked. I don't know what else to do with it. And so much of the old critiques of the Overwatch microtransaction system is just completely defeated by the fact that the game is so generous. And that's something I want you guys to start looking at when you're playing and buying these new games. You're seeing the way microtransactions are affecting gameplay. Look at the way it ties in versus how Overwatch ties it in. Look at how generous Blizzard was with Overwatch versus EA with Battlefront 2. It's easy to pick on that one. I'm sorry. It's just such a joke, and I love looking at it because, okay guys, I'm not really a big fan of EA because I hate the way that they design their games, specifically multiplayer games, and I am not a big fan of rushing everything for a cash grab to hurt you guys. I think that sucks. And just so you guys know, I'm not someone that's against microtransactions and loot boxes and all the different things that come with spending money on a game that you've already spent money on. The first time I was ever shown into that world of the DLCs, Call of Duty, back in about 2007, 2008, one of the first like more modern ones. I've been playing since 1. I would rent that on my PS2 from Blockbuster. Man, I am old. You would have to spend like, I think it was around $15 and you can get 5 extra maps or something like that, just a couple different extra maps. And while I did do that back in the day, because if my friends would get it, I would have to get it to play with them because you couldn't play the same, but you basically weren't playing the same multiplayer if you had the DLC versus didn't have the DLC. You were separated into different player pools, and that's a big thing. I believe someone on the Overwatch team, I think it was Jeff maybe, someone said that exact same thing. They said they hate the idea of DLC with maps because it splits the player pool. Some people are searching for these types of maps and others are searching for these types of maps. They want everybody playing together. Fantastic. Good. That is a very good and smart game design decision. But that's just me telling you that I've seen microtransactions from when I was pretty young. I mean, that was probably when I was around 13 years old. And I've seen it slowly develop over time. And to now you get all the different like cards in that soccer game. Oh, that so much stuff is being added that just doesn't seem fitting at all in these games. So we've gone from pay $15 for a couple new maps a couple months after a game's release to now on day 1 you have to pay. You can pay for this and get the premium edition, or pay for this and get this and this and this, and or pay this one, you pay like $100 for this and you get this and this and this and this. I mean, it has gotten so out of hand with these AAA games. It is very disappointing. And so that's why I love to look at Overwatch, and I love to see how generous they have been with their prosumer approach. Very generous with giving you a loot box every single level up. That didn't have to happen. So I think that's really cool. And so sometimes on this channel we make videos like this where sometimes you expect, like, you see Overwatch Microtransactions in the title and we're like, oh man, what's he gonna say? Man, he's gonna rip him a new one. This is gonna be sweet. No, sometimes it's not exactly like that. Sometimes I'm making these videos on things I really see and love about the game. I mean, there's a reason I play Overwatch instead of Fortnite, over PUBG, over Call of Duty, Battlefield, whatever. There's a reason I like playing this game better than all of those others, and again, this is one of the reasons I like it. The way Overwatch has done things over the past couple of years, it's just been the game is just for me. And so yes, while we definitely do call out the bad, I'm definitely going to call out the good as well. And the channel's not here just to rip apart every debatably bad decision the Overwatch team has made for the game. I'm here to rip apart all the good decisions as well. And rip apart makes it sound like it's a bad thing. Rip apart as in, like, rip it open and expose it and take a... Okay, I keep talking about a good thing like it's gonna be bad. We're going to rip open these good things about the game and look at what truly made them good. So that's what I was trying to say. So to conclude, I think Overwatch has done microtransactions in a fantastic way. But I would love to see more pushed into the I'd love to see more stuff pushed into loot boxes. That made me more excited to buy them, because I absolutely would buy them. I am willing to spend more money than most people on Overwatch, but I'm just not really that excited about the skins and emote stuff. But if we can cancel the emotes, you might get me a little bit excited to start buying some if you put some cool ones in and some more dances and make it kind of like a new culture, kind of like how Fortnite did with their stuff. Okay, that's it for the video, guys. To conclude the video, I have partnered with GameLeap, and we're going to talk about their amazing service to help you become an all-star Overwatch player so you can finally get out of bronze and into top 500 and make a name for yourself. We can make a lot of jokes and stuff, but seriously, if you're looking to get better at Overwatch, investing in yourself and spending time on websites like GameLeap is going to be the best way to better yourself as a player. I made an account from scratch and took some of the courses, and I was able to see firsthand how fast, how smooth the new website is, and how great that this system is working. Most importantly, GameLeap has doubled the amount of content they're releasing, and they've also increased the production quality, all at the same exact price. So you can have complete access to all guides for Overwatch and Dota 2 for just $5 with code Nateson. The website is completely compatible with your smartphones, it has incredibly smooth playback, and GameLeap is an incredible tool at your dispense that you should be using daily, and that's why I highly recommend you getting a premium sub. Take care, guys. See ya.